Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is the one and the only. It is me, your boy Trip, here live in the studio. Here, if you're tuning in here on TikTok, go ahead and tap that screen. Let everybody know that we're live, we're coming in loud and clear, and that you guys are liking what we're talking about. Right before we wind down and get ready for the holidays, of course, there are some controversial topics that I just want to talk about that I just can't seem to get off my head. So if you're tuning in and you're liking what we're talking about, please go ahead and leave some comments down below. Go ahead and tap that screen and share the videos and let everybody know. And if you're tuning in here on YouTube, please go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget, share this page, share the notifications for everybody to know what we're doing, what we're talking about. How are you guys doing on this good Monday evening, afternoon, night, morning, wherever you're coming from? Go ahead, leave me a comment down below, shout out below. Welcome to the show. It is absolutely good to see you guys, and thank you guys for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in to the Daily Show, welcome to the Daily Show with me, Trip, yours one and only truly. 5:30 to 6:30 Pacific time. Came in a little bit late today, trying to get a little different setup today, but we got some things I want to talk about, which is, of course, the war on men here in America. And I believe that this is a true war that's going on here in the country that we can talk about. And if I don't talk about it, well, who else will? So if you guys don't mind tuning in, communicating with me on what we want to talk about here in the future of America and how America is doing, how are we going to get through it with the war on men, and why is there such a war on men, or masculinity, I should say, in 2021 moving forward? It seems to me like this seems to be a new thing that happens, and I don't like it. Hello, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming into the show. Keep tapping the screen. What's up, brothers? Good to see you. Again, I'm going to be taking in some callers on Wednesday. If you guys want to come in on the show and have a one-on-one with me, communicate as a veteran, tell some of your story, shoot us a DM, shoot us a message so we can vet you guys to see what you guys want to talk about before we just pop on here live. Hey, Lucas, good to see you, brother. Keep tapping that screen, everybody. Again, we're live in the studio here. Thank you at the AIADW studio. Thank you, guys. Again, this is the war on men, but there's other things that we're going to talk about before we get into that. First things first, what is it with your president, Mr. Biden? And yes, that is Joe. Joe says that people here in America are afraid. And of course, there's a lot of people that are afraid because the country is absolutely in turmoil and falling apart. So yes, Joe, yes. The American people are afraid. And because you're not offering any sense of real support or a solution or a plan to get out of this, you wonder why people are afraid. Well, there you go, Joe. There you go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for any gifts or anything that you guys are sending me. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You guys never have to do that. I greatly appreciate it, though. Thank you, guys. I just like that you guys tap the screen and get involved. Let's engage in these uncomfortable conversations, regardless of color, race, religion, creed, origin, or better yet, what political party you come from. Because at the end of the day, none of that matters, especially when our country is in the turmoil that it's in right now. We should all be able to come together. So, yes, Joe Biden is saying that the American people are afraid and not offering any solution or plan to get out of this, but yet here we are. Meanwhile, the mayor, Lori Beetlejuice, and yes, you know I'm talking about Lori Beetlejuice down in the south side of Chicago, with the whole smash and grab pandemic or epidemic. I guess it is an epidemic, right? Because it's just here in the country, right? And the pandemic is global. So I would say that in this country where we are allowing this new form of smash and grab, what's the word? Activity to partake in our blue cities, the mayor is saying, well, she thinks it's a shame. It's an absolute shame, and she's disappointed that the city, the shop owners and people are not doing more to protect their businesses and hire more security and lock up their bags and things like that. Absolutely victim. Damn, I can't even talk. Victim blaming. I don't know what word I was trying to say, but I said a victim. I think that's what I made up a word. Victim. That's victim and blaming together. The victim. Anyways, the mayor is allowed to do these things. She's absolutely blaming the city, not the city officials, of course. None of them are in trouble for what's going on. No, It's the city people. It's the city's fault. It's the people. It's the business owners' fault that this is going on, and they're doing a horrible job at protecting their own stuff. Meanwhile, they defunded the police and not allowing police to do anything because smash and grab stuff is allowed in these blue cities, and I don't understand it. I mean, these are true facts that are happening here in our country, and I'm not trying to scare anybody or persuade anybody's type of feeling any type of way. I'm just stating the absolute obvious and talking about what's going on here because this is absolutely true. And if you guys are aware, just like I'm aware, and are worried about it, just like I'm worried about it, I think you have to believe that there has to be some crazy idea or some master plan that's going on. I don't understand. I just don't understand. But meanwhile, there continues to be this war on men or war on masculinity. And that is why I came in here and wanted to talk about this in today's episode. So again, if you're tuning in, you see the thing that says we're chatting here live talking about the war on men. Let's talk about it. What is going on here in America with the war on men? And why is this a new thing? Or why is this allowed? Why has this become trendy? Or better yet, why has this become socially acceptable is what I want to know. Why have we allowed this to be a thing? Yes, I'm absolutely true. I mean, if we're really talking about it, we have all of these movements for women, and please don't mix and twist my words. I am all for women's rights and women's empowerment and movement to do better and equal. I am all for it, but there are some things that are physically impossible between the male and the female bodies that are just we cannot dismiss or dispute. However, if I bring those things up and say things about being a man, I get looked at as a what's the word? A misogynist. A misogynist. If I don't want to say, well, no, all men are bad. All men are pigs. All men this or all men that. And if I don't want to show it to the march or the rally for the females, that means that I'm misogynist? That doesn't make sense to me. But then again, if I don't show up to the march either, that means I'm a white supremacist. Of course, that's what you guys told me. That's not all of you, but some of the comments that were said, I'm a white supremacist. Somehow, I don't understand it. But again, that's one person's opinion, or bot, or whoever, China, whoever. I don't fucking know. But there seems to be this new trend to where it's okay to bash men, especially if you're a white man. It is 100% okay in a certain group's eyes to bash you. If you are a straight white male in America, the social norm now is to bash you, discredit you, and make you look like a sexist, misogynist pig. And it's really bizarre, it's fucking weird, and I don't understand it, and I don't agree with it. And on the other turn, if I'm a black man that speaks up about this thing, and I don't agree with it, well then I'm either a white supremacist, a traitor, or Uncle Tom. Strange times, ladies and gentlemen, strange freaking times. I don't get it, I don't get it. I mean, again, if a father wants to teach their son or daughter to do things that they feel traditionally line up with their views and how they want to raise their family, if they don't coincide with how you view, then people get upset with that, and then they want to label people these ist or isms. This is true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's exactly what happens. If I don't agree with your current narrative, then you guys, not all of you, but most of the people on this platform would say that, well, they're a fascist or a sexist or ist or ism just because they don't agree with the same agenda or narrative that they do. Am I wrong? What do some of the comments say? Doesn't it work both ways? Well, it doesn't, because if I start to push a certain amount of view or a certain topic about men and just want to provide men empowerment or men whatever, nobody views it, nobody cares, nobody's interested, because at the end of the day, nobody cares. Let's be honest. If men want to reach out for support and help, nobody really truly cares, not enough to actually do something to make a difference. For instance, matter of fact, I'm about to hit you guys with some real facts. These are current facts as of today. I looked these up today in our country. 8 facts, 8 absolute facts right here in our country about men in our country. And again, I'm not trying to dismiss any facts or any knowledge towards women. I will do a whole another session on women. I will do some of my research and do that. But today, I'm talking about men. So anybody that wants to jump down my throat and say, well, how come you're not talking about women or anything like that? That's not what this episode or this topic is about. Today's episode is catered towards the men. So, here are some absolute facts, 8 facts right here for you guys here in America. So, did you absolutely know that this is true? Okay, all of these are true. You can look these up yourself, okay? But the majority of men, actually better yet, the majority of people that are homeless in our country are men. The majority of prison inmates are men. These are 2 solid facts here in our country. Go ahead and look those up. And some of these are also worldwide. The majority of homicide victims are men. Look it up. Violent crimes also, yeah, men. Numbers right now show that the current high school dropout rate, guess what? Men top that too. Workplace injuries. Yep, men. What's this? Oh, the majority of all dangerous jobs are men. That's worldwide. Now, again, I'm not dismissing or saying that women cannot do dangerous jobs. Not by any means. I have met and served with some badass women. Some women to this day that can still whoop my ass. However, worldwide, the stats and the studies would show the majority of all dangerous jobs are done by men. But you want to know what the one that baffles me, the one that really gets me here in our country, is the number one suicide rate, better yet, suicide victims are men. Hands down. But there's no support for men when they speak out against this stuff. Therefore, I do believe there's a real war on men because, in one hand, we're supposed to suck it up and be the man and do better, charge forward, and just bear that shit down the hatch and move the fuck on. Right? Because we're men. That's the masculinity in us. That's what we're supposed to do. Shut the fuck up and charge forward. And if we want to reach out for help, we look like a sissy or whatever. Or we get to downplay those problems as seen as, well, there's no point in me talking about it because at the end of the day, they're going to downplay and no one's really going to listen because at the end of the day, the majority of you do not care because it's a man talking about it. However, if I was a woman talking in a bikini or whatnot about the same stuff, I would have probably 10,000 more views or clicks or whatever. That's neither this nor there. Did I use that correctly? I think I did. My English may not be the best, but it is what it is. Neither here nor there. But you get what I'm trying to say. But if violent crimes, homicides, suicides, workplace injuries, violent jobs, dangerous jobs, high school dropout, all of these negative things all happen to coincide here in our country and worldwide are men. But yet there's no help for any of us when we want it. Why is that? And why is it that when I want to speak up about it and try to do something for men and just say, hey, look, I want to start a support group for men to come together and just talk about some of the issues that we struggle through day in and day out that only maybe men would actually understand, I'll get people that want to shut me down and talk to me, well, women this, and you're not doing this, and you just think this because of women this, or you don't want to support women's groups and do this. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not true. And for so many men, you would not believe how many men actually support women and what they want to do and move forward in life, but are never given the chance because we are all looked at as a misogynist or a feminist, or anti-feminist or whatever the fuck new terms. You got so many ists and isms nowadays. I can't keep track of them. I can't. But there seems to be a battle in this war on masculinity. I want to tell a young boy, a son, my nephew or whatever, hey, let's go do boy stuff, man up, toughen up, and you get up. Hey, don't tell him that. Society will tell me, you can't tell him that. That's wrong. What do you mean that's wrong? He's a boy, right? Well, yeah, but how do you know he identifies? Well, first of all, let's stop right there. I know he doesn't identify or feel that he's not that because he's not. He's a boy. He was born a boy. He's always going to be a boy. That's all there is to it. Now, if he later on down the line wants to go through that field when he's an adult and make that transition and choice, well, as an adult, I guess he would have that right to do so, and there's nothing I could do about it because he's an adult. But I believe if they're a minor, that they should not have an absolute voice and trump over what parents say. So if I want to tell my son, my stepson, my nephew, my friend, hey, let's go do some man shit, what would you constitute as man stuff? Well, fuck. Now I gotta dive down that rabbit hole. I don't know, man shit. Right? But if I say, well, that's man shit, well, girls can do that too, or females can do that too. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that this is only for men or this is only for females. That's not what I'm saying. And that's not what so many other people are saying. However, they don't get the chance to say it because they get shut down, cut out, and at the end of the day, they get canceled because they get looked at as either an ist or an ism. And they never get to voice their opinion. I mean, that's exactly what happens. Very true. I'm surprised I haven't been canceled on here yet for voicing my opinion. And at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is bring us together, regardless of what religion, what race we are, regardless of what political affiliation. We should still be able to come together as American people and have these particular uncomfortable conversations, regardless of if we disagree or if we agree. We should still be able to have these conversations. You see, at one point in time, we used to believe that. We used to believe that we can disagree and still nitpick and pick facts from each side, evaluate it, and come up with a conclusion or rational conclusion based on evidence provided from both sides. We used to. But now there's only one side allowed to say anything. And that's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. When you only allow a particular group to speak, you lead down very muddy waters or troubled waters, and it gets real, real scary because eventually those same people that have been silenced everywhere, they're going to erupt and they're going to say something, or they're going to blow up and they're going to start shouting and telling you exactly what you need to hear. Because eventually you are going to wake up and realize that you're all being fooled. You're all being played. But I mean, that's neither here nor there, right? Do this or that, because at the end of the day, I'm just a guy bitching on TikTok or YouTube, Facebook, because all this guy wants to do is bitch and complain, and then he wants to try to bring us together somehow and talk about it. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm doing. At the end of the day, I'm also just expressing my mind, helping me through my PTSD as I'm battling through the same bullshit that you're trying to battle through. I just don't care about sharing it anymore because I feel like I need to say the things that so many of you or other people just haven't been able to say because of your job or because of your affiliation with either group or whatever the case is. You're silenced or you self-censor yourself, and I feel like that's not right. I feel like that's not right. Some of the comments coming in, you know, I'm not trying to persuade anybody, like I said, about your political affiliation or anything like that. That's not my business, and at the end of the day, I don't care. We know what is going on right now. It's absolutely chaotic, and it's tyrannical, and you cannot, nobody has yet, not one person has yet to tell me anything good that this administration has done yet. Nobody. I can't think of anything positive that's actually came out of this administration. And yet, the only thing I happen to see is anytime something bad is brought up, they want to blame people from an administration ago or blame other people. They never want to take time to actually, you know, address the actual issues and actually own up to their mistakes and responsibilities. So anyways, it's 6 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the toast of the day. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is the part of the day where I welcome you to partake in a toast with me to shout out to the veterans out there and the service members out there who are still actively serving and doing everything they can to make our country great and continue to flourish and be the greatest nation on God's given earth. At the same time, I also want to pay a lot of respect to everybody across the Midwest who has lost their homes, their lives, and people are still missing due to the recent tornadoes and things that went through there. It's an absolute travesty, and people are still trying to recover. So if you're one of those people, my heart goes out to you, and if there's anything I can do to help you guys out, please let me know. I'll try to do as much as I can, spread awareness as best as I can, do some fundraising, anything that we can do to help. Please do what you can. I ask you guys to participate in this with me. Whatever your libation is, whatever that's smoking, that's drinking, apple juice, milk, tea, water, juice, wine, it doesn't matter to me. It can be Kool-Aid or water. Doesn't matter to me. I just ask that you go ahead and participate in a toast with me. And of course, as usual, I will give a shout out to 99.9 KISW's The Men's Room, because I steal their quote and their toast because it's absolutely great. And I'm working on one for my own show. So bear with me. I think after the new year, I'll release it. So again, let me know. I'll release it in little bits and pieces and see how you guys like it. But again, to The Men's Room and to everybody out there who is actively serving, ever served, all the fallen service members, I thank you guys for your service. And again, anybody who's lost their lives, loved ones, or involved in this travesty with the Midwest, with the tornadoes and everything, I just want to say shout out. My heart goes out to you. If there's anything I can do, please reach out. Please reach out. We got to spread. We got to spread the love and come together. There's so many people that have been affected, and right before the holidays, like this is that moment where we got to come together. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy. So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, got a hole in my lip. It's the apple juice, everybody. I said about apple juice. For those of you who think I'm a freaking drunk or something like that. Apple juice. With a twist. That's what she said. That's what you put in the cup. You can believe me if you want to, but that's what you put in the cup. Oh, it's peach? That's why it tasted fun. I thought it didn't taste like apple. It was peaches. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Let's see. For the most part, I agree. Where we at here so far? In the comments, thank you guys for any gifts or anything like that. Again, those are not required. You guys don't have to send me gifts or anything like that. Again, it's really appreciated. I just ask you guys, tap the screen, tap the hell out of the screen from time when we're communicating as I'm going in on the rant. Tap the screen. Let everybody know that we're live and you guys are enjoying it. Let's go ahead and continue with the conversation and stop the war on men, ladies and gentlemen. Do you believe that there is a war on men here in the current America? And if so, why is there a war on men? Why is this masculinity decline being pushed? Why is being masculine now looked at as a crime or looked at as a bad thing? Why is that okay now? Because it used to be a time where boys were boys, girls were girls, and that was cool. You did boy shit, you did girl shit. What happened? Where was the change? That's what I want to know. Because for the longest time, we were okay with these differences and separations. And we're still okay with them when it's convenient. When it's convenient, we're okay with it. There being a separation. That's what it seems like now. We're okay with it now as long as it's convenient. And convenient can be used, however you want to. Take it for what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not the current trend now? There used to be okay with the difference in genders and masculinity and femininity. Did I say that right? Femininity? That's a tongue twister. Say that 3 times fast. Femininity. Anyways. There used to be okay with us being a difference between the two. But now, if I say there's a difference between the two, I get canceled. Y'all try to cancel me. If I say that there is a difference between male, female, I can be canceled. Why is that okay? Why is it okay for me to say girls can do girl stuff and boy stuff, but if I say boys should only do boy stuff, that's a problem? Okay. Well, let me ask you guys this, because the last I checked, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that even the government recognized, because the military did say that there is, and they're allowing a difference of gender to take place within their ranks. What I mean by that is you can identify as either or and transition. You're allowed to in the military. Government. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. My question is, if that is true, and if there is no difference, and we're supposed to all be okay with it, why is it still currently that only males are required to sign up for selective service when they come of age? And if that's the case, if I wanted to transition or say that I identify right before I'm supposed to sign up for selective service, would I be eligible to just skirt my way through it? These are real questions that we have to bring up, ladies and gentlemen. Answer me that. Make this make sense to me. Again, if there's absolutely no difference, then how come right now it's still only required for, what is the term? Cisgendered males to sign up for selective service? Why is that still a thing if there's no difference? Ladies and gentlemen, make it make sense for me, please. Please do. Make it make sense. I'm not trying to persuade you in any way. I'm just pointing out things that are absolutely true. You can identify as what you want. At the end of the day, you are born as male or female in parts. Yeah, you're absolutely right. However, societal norms and the government tells me that if I say that too publicly, that I need to be canceled and that I'm spreading misinformation, even though there is scientific and biological evidence and documentation that there is a genetical difference. We cannot dispute that, but of course, when they say trust the science for certain things, the thing, that's okay. But it's not okay to trust the science when it comes to those things. So that's why I bring up this question. And I'm not trying to preach, I'm just sitting there simply saying the obvious. These are things that we have to talk about because, again, when we have a decline in our military because of the thing, and people who don't want to comply with the thing, well, you happen to have a dwindling force, and then these are the same people who we're going to send to fight our nation's wars. So it just makes me think, because I'm a military man, I have to think about this from a strategic standpoint. Okay? The other countries that are willing to invade us, and don't worry, there are other countries that are willing to invade us. Again, I'm not trying to spread in misinformation. I'm just simply saying, if you were looking at the chaos that's going on in our country and how dysfunctional and disorganized we are, if I was another country, I'm just saying, this would be the prime time to be doing some stupid shit. I'm just saying, because we're all kinds of fucked up. If we're honest. Greatest country on this fucking earth, all fucked up. Makes you say, if I was another country that was planning some stupid shit, because again, it would be stupid shit to do to try to fuck with America, because you already know what's going to happen. They can try, but at the end of the day, we know what America's going to do. End of the day, we don't take shit from nobody. We don't. Unless, well, then again, number 46 just happens to just let them do whatever. Not off the table, because I don't think cackling Kamala is any better. Anyways, it really makes me think. These are the people that we're going to send to fight our nation's wars, and we have a drop and decline in masculinity. Well, need I say more? We have this massive decline in masculinity, which, again, there is scientific proof in our country. Documentation. Literally, masculinity is dying in our country, in our world. It is dying. Men are being killed at an astronomical level every single day. Every single day. Not to say that women aren't either, but the numbers are freaking crazy. When you look at the numbers, when you really dive in and look at the numbers, just look into what I was talking about, that list I gave you today. Just look at some of those right there. Look at those numbers. That's got to tell you something. What is the real issue that's going on here in our country, and why is there no real help for men? Why are we not allowed to talk about it as men? There's a few females that will step up and say something, But at the end of the day, it seems like it's a fad or it seems trendy. But when people really want to talk about it and support men and come together, there seems to be no real help. Because apparently masculinity is bad. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And see, I have 2 daughters of my own who I want to be successful, independent, driven, strong-willed. I want all of these things for my daughters. But at the end of the day, I also want them to be my daughters. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that I should be shamed because I like having daughters and I want my daughters to be daughters. But you see, at the end of the day, maybe I just come from a different time where this new trend just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Because I thought that we were okay with there being a difference between the two. I thought we were okay with that. I thought we were okay with saying, hey, look, there's a genetic difference. Cannot deny that. And look, there are some things that just cannot be done a certain way. I'm not going to say what some of those things are biologically, because you know what I'm talking about. Biologically, there are things that cannot and can be done by either or. That science still has yet to recreate. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just, I don't understand. We're pushing this. We're pushing this. That's not a boy color, Billy. That can be anyone's color. We're pushing this. We're bringing these questions and ideas into our younger kids who let's face it, at 5, 6, 7 years old, have no real business and at all talking about these issues or these things. It's okay for them to understand that there's a difference between boys and girls, at least until they're an appropriate age to actually understand the talk. And that talk should be done with the parents, not the damn schools. Not the schools, especially public school. Come on now. But if I'm a man and I speak up and say these things, I get risk of being canceled. A black man speak up for a white person, I'm an Uncle Tom and I'm a traitor. If you're a white man in America and you're straight, well, you already know you just looked at as the racist, fascist, misogynistic enemy, right? And I don't understand that. When our own president said that white supremacy is public enemy. Come on now. If we're not able to wake up from this and actually understand what's going on, I really fear for what's to come. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Daily Show with me, Trip. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me on the rant and talking about these issues. Again, if you guys have some comments and things that you guys want to bring up, go ahead and leave them here. I'm going to stay on here for a few minutes and I'll go ahead and just engage with you guys in the chat. My rant is over. If you guys want to go ahead and just chat with me and talk about some of the issues where you guys are coming from and why you guys can think this is the time to do that now. I appreciate you guys for tuning in for the show. Keep tapping that screen and share. Again, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on here too because, again, I like to do this. You know, it helps me with my PTSD. 9-year combat veteran, 2 tours in Afghanistan. So I got medically retired. If you guys have not heard this, if you have heard this before, I apologize. If you have not heard this and this is your first time, again, yes, combat veteran, 2 tours in Afghanistan. I was medically retired in 2018. 5 different reconstructive surgeries on my left foot, trying to get myself in condition to walk regular, and I can no longer run. So, military said, sorry, buddy, got to go. And it is what it is, and that's really been taking a big toll on me since I got out, and a lot has happened in my life, you know, divorce, my mother died, didn't get the job I wanted to, didn't get a different job I wanted to, I'm still stuck doing this, custody, you know, all of the things, the pandemic, you know, lose the house. When I say when it rains, it fucking pours. And then I've continued to lose my brother. Then I lost about seven different friends the last year to suicide. and it's getting it's getting to be a lot on me. So my therapist decided that, hey man, look, honestly, this is what's crazy. My therapist told me, look, bro, you need to smoke some weed and just let this stuff out. Do like on your daily show. Just make a daily show and just spread the word. Just talk. Just talk. And you'll see how much better you feel. And I haven't just wanted to just engage and just smoking the weed. You know, I'm a little skeptical of just diving right into that with my job and stuff. But I think I'm gonna just take my therapist's advice and just say fuck it. You know what? This is and you know what's funny? My therapist works for the VA, but he can't officially say, hey, go do this and we can prescribe you this because fucking VA. It's so sad. Even though, hey man, we know this is going to help you, but instead take these pills. Take these pills. This is what I can tell you to take. However, go. I wish I could tell you to go do this, you know, on Front Street and go go meet a guy named Bill at this corner and tell him this. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. You know, you guys get what I'm saying. Strange time. Even though we know things will help you, can't officially say it or recommend it. So fucking sad. So crazy. It's been a crazy few years for me. I mean, me and my buddy were talking about it the other day. You know, we're looking back at it. Literally, it's going to be 4 years, and I've had absolutely nothing but just bad luck. Like, we were going down, like, just a list of things, and it's just been one thing after another, after another, after another. And it's like, you look at the grand scheme of things, and it's like, damn, man, like, why in the hell did you keep going? And I ask myself the same question. At this point, I don't even fucking know. Like, yeah, obviously, you know, I do know. Like, I have my kids. I love my kids to death, and I'm a good father, and I do what I can, but I have those days, and it's so overwhelming with everything going on. I gotta release this, and I get so much pent-up aggression with the PTSD, and I just gotta release this fucking... Y'all get it! Y'all understand? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just babbling. This is the part of the apple juice that just gets me venting. But that's just a little bit about me, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you guys want to engage with me, I'll be on here for a few more minutes trying to get this damn Bluetooth speaker working right. I was bumping a little minute ago, but album 5, that Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, that shit filthy, man. Thank you for your service. I dive in here. Thank you guys for all the support. I like to talk about mental health a lot, because this is one of the topics that have been so taboo for so long. So as you guys are following me and as you guys engage with me in these live videos and other things like that, there's going to be times I want to talk about mental health and stuff like that, because I do bring up the topics that are deemed taboo. I'm going to talk about them because if anybody that actually knows me, y'all know I'm going to tell you what you need to hear before I tell you what you want to hear. Hard to ask. I have to do... Damn. I was in the Army 9 years. Honestly, yeah, the best thing I can say is start talking to somebody. That's the best thing you can do. Like, I don't care if it's your barber, beauty, somebody that you trust. You need to talk to somebody about it. And then eventually you need to find somebody that understands, not necessarily a therapist. I'm just gonna say this: we as a people need people. All right, we're not the kind of being that we're supposed to be self-isolated and all that. We need people, and I think for PTSD, especially combat related, you need to be around somebody that has been around that. Not to say that a person who studies for so many years on PTSD and trauma and the brain don't have a good idea. I'm sure their credentials are great, but until you truly understand what it means to raise your right hand and are willing to sacrifice your life for 330 million people who don't give a fuck about you, until you understand that, and then you understand that you almost did die and you have resulting injuries from that you have to live with for the rest of your life. Yeah, it can be tough. And there's a lot of people on this earth that do not understand that sacrifice. So it's hard to connect with somebody who, yeah, I went to school and I understand the brain, but you don't understand what I went through. You don't understand what that feels like to leave your kid at home where she is safe and snuggled in her bed. And while she's safe and snuggled in her bed, dreaming her little dreams, thinking safe and sound, daddy's out saving the world, doing great things. And at the same moment, I could be taking a shit in a porta-john. Right? Afghanistan. And at a moment's notice, here comes a fucking rocket. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what happens to our servicemen and women and so many other people. But yet less than 1% or 1% of our population is ever served, and yet we're supposed to talk to so many people who have, let's say, think about it, if 1% is ever served, then that means 99% of our country does not understand us. And if 99% of people don't understand us, why would I go and talk to somebody who's, even though they're licensed, does not understand? Do you see where I'm going with this? So the best thing I can say is find somebody who does understand it. They don't have to like it, but at least they understand it. Just find that person and you'll understand that bond that you'll have. And it's something that you cannot recreate in any way, shape, or form. And anybody that's ever been through combat knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You connect with anybody else who is engaged in combat on a different level, spiritually, mentally, physically, than you can't even imagine than anybody else on the street. Even if you don't have a super solid relationship, just that shared trauma that you have experienced. And I'm sure people who have shared trauma understand what I'm talking about. That just level of connection that you cannot find anywhere else. So for me, the best thing I could do was obviously talking to other combat vets. I mean, I went to a men's group, a PTSD men's group every Friday for like a year, my last year in the Army. And that was the best thing I think I could have did. I looked forward to that every Friday, even on like days where we had Donzas or a 4-day weekend, like just for our unit. But like the group was still going on because it was a post-wide thing. I would still go on just to go to that meeting because that's like, it was so just the amount, like we were just in there for 2 hours every Friday. And anything was just, we talk about anything. Just a bunch of guys who just experienced combat, especially the war on terror, like being in Afghanistan and Iraq. Like, you guys don't understand, like, shit was fucked up. And for 20 years, now it's all gone to waste, and we're supposed to just be okay with it. And just supposed to pretend and act like things didn't happen the way it did. You guys know what I'm talking about. For 13 of our own didn't need to have their lives taken yet. That's the best thing I can say to you. Just find somebody that actually understands it. And then, again, I would say start treatment, start therapy, smoke some weed, and be around people that actually understand you. But don't be afraid to be by yourself, and don't forget the values and everything that you came from and what you stood for. A lot of people would, when they got out, they say, fuck the military, I don't want to ever do it again. And then they realize, like, damn, like, I miss that shit. Structure of the values, the things that we hold core to our, hold to believe true, is they live with us forever. Because we experience some things that are so traumatic that I wouldn't wish upon some of your worst enemies. I mean, some of the things that some of us have had to see, things that we can never unsee. 99% of you don't understand. When I say there's a real issue in our country, I don't think you guys are understanding it as deep as I'm looking at this. There's a mental issue in our country, and there's nothing really being done about it. Nothing. It seems to get downplayed. But I'm tired of downplaying. I'm no longer going to downplay it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to continue to talk about it. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to be a voice. My organization, All in a Day's Work, our slogan is the voice of the warrior for a reason. We will have these uncomfortable conversations on whatever platform we can. We will engage with members of the military, veterans, servicemen and women, people who support the military, and try to bring our country back and just talk about these uncomfortable things that our servicemen and women go through, how nothing's being done really for them to transition back into civilian life. And then we wonder why 22 plus of my brothers and sisters are taking their lives every single day. So I challenge you guys, go ahead, check out the website, allinadays.com. Kate, go ahead and leave a link for them in there, or the website, www.allinadays.com. We have options there for you guys. Get your merchandise. We have the bracelets there for you guys. Voice of the Warrior bracelets, stickers, the t-shirts are for sale. All of that goes towards the organization helping homelessness and fight 22 plus veteran suicide. That's what our organization is all about. It's nonprofit. We are a 501c3, so we don't make money off of any of this. This literally all goes into nonprofit and helping out back into the community. This is not for us to make money. This is to help out my brothers and sisters, and there's options there for you guys to donate to us as well. Whatever you guys can to help out, it's on the website. Check us out, guys. But I'm going to be the voice. I'm going to continue to talk about these things and have these uncomfortable conversations as long as you guys allow. I need your help. Tap the screen, share the videos, help me out. The more people we get involved in talking about these things, bringing our veterans home, bringing our people home, and understanding that they have a safe place to talk about. We have a safe place for the kids to talk about gender shit. Why don't we have a safe space for our veterans and our servicemen and women to talk about these uncomfortable things? Well, at All in a Day's Work, that's what we're going to do. Check us out, guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the live show, 5:30. I will be on time. I promise I'll be on time. Take care, everybody. Check out the videos. Stay safe. YouTube, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and share. Check out the YouTube page again. That's All in a Day's Work, everybody. Love you guys. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.